Corto Maltese is a small island nation off the coast of South America. Over the past 100 years, the country has been ruled with an iron fist. This is Jotunheim, a scientific experimentation facility containing something known only as Project Starfish. Your mission is to infiltrate Jotunheim and destroy every trace of Project Starfish, the Nawe.
And?
Yes. That is your hand, the Nawe. Very good.
Directed by James Gunn and acting as a soft reboot/sequel to the underwhelming Suicide Squad movie released in 2016, The Suicide Squad follows 14 anti-heroes recruited to Task Force X who were split into two teams and sent on a deadly mission. As is to be expected, the story is simple, but writer-director James Gunn injects comedy and character through banter that grounds the ridiculous story with heart and gives our characters more to overcome than just the mission at hand. Blackmailed by Viola Davis' Amanda Waller, the ruthless head of Task Force X, some of the most obscure characters in DC are sent to destroy Jotunheim, a military installation on Corto Maltese that houses the mysterious Project Starfish, a venture deemed to be a major threat to the US. Based on its 80s comic book counterpart, which sees lesser-known DC villains thrust into dangerous missions at the behest of the US government in return for reduced prison sentences, our characters are thrown into a Bay of Pigs type scenario. Unfiltered violence and hilarity ensue.
We're all gonna die.
I hope so.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Temporarily fired by Disney from Guardians of the Galaxy 3 until they realized they'd lost their damn minds, Gunn was hired to become the second Marvel director to moonlight in the DCEU. But unlike Joss Whedon, Gunn offers up something original, subversive, and thoroughly entertaining without relying on fan service. The initial team comprised of 9 members is first to touch down. After Weasel, a bipedal man-sized mammal who enjoys killing children, seemingly drowns, the rest of them run directly into an ambush on the beach, resulting in many deaths. Seriously, everyone from Blackguard, who sold the group out, Savant, Javelin, the Detachable Kid, Mungal, all of whom had only just been introduced, and even Captain Boomerang are wiped out, making the title of the film true to its word.
I'm a man of my word.
Leaving Harley Quinn and Rick Flag as the only survivors. We're then audaciously introduced to the secondary squad, led by Idris Elba's Bloodsport, a ruthless mercenary that was trained to kill by his father, resulting in a bitter and remarkably deadly and technologically advanced marksman. We then have John Cena's Peacemaker, a douchey Captain America who actually humorously shares a similar backstory to Bloodsport as a brutal killer trained by a neglectful father.
Are you having a laugh?
What?
You just said each member of the team is chosen for their unique abilities. He does exactly what I do, but better.
This is milked by Gunn to perfection, who gives them a competitive rivalry of one-upmanship, showcasing both of their abilities to be hilarious.
No one likes to show off.
Unless what they're showing off is dope as fuck. Fuck.
Then there's King Shark, otherwise known as Nanawe, a monosyllabic bipedal shark man demigod voiced by Sylvester Stallone that lacks intelligence.
No, don't friends.
But makes up for it with incredible strength, durability, and razor-sharp teeth. King Shark is an uneasy ally at first, but quickly makes friends with the rest of the group thanks to the kind-hearted treatment of Daniela Melchior's Ratcatcher 2.
Would you eat your friends?
I know friends.
If you did, would you eat them?
No?
Growing up in severe poverty on the streets of Portugal, her father, played by Taika Waititi, built devices to communicate with and control rats, providing them with food and warmth. Following her father's death, Ratcatcher 2 escaped to the United States, bringing along her rusty rat companion Sebastian and technological mischief. The last member of the group is undeniably the most tortured soul, David Dastmalchian's repressed and troubled Polka Dot Man. At a young age, he and his siblings were experimented on by their abusive mother, who worked at one of the shady Star Labs. After being infected with an interdimensional virus, he earned his nickname and power to discharge caustic interdimensional polka dots.
I don't like to kill people, but if I pretend they're my mom, it's easy.
In his signature fashion, Gunn tells an evocative and well-paced story that, despite its ridiculous nature, manages to inspire plenty of emotion. Much like Snyder when he's on his A-game, Gunn creates a stunning adaptation showcasing an innate love for comic books and dark graphic novels through a violent, hilarious, and emotionally resonant lens. It's a very satirical look at US interventionism, filled with all the brain splatter and blood that Gunn loves to offer. But what shines through the most for me is that the focus is always on character. By the end of the film, we know what drives each and every person. Amanda Waller's focus is national security. Peacemaker is motivated by his erroneous patriotism. Bloodsport is a selfish assassin who's forced into the mission to save his daughter. Rick Flag, the only non-criminal, is driven by a sense of moralistic duty. Polka Dot Man is motivated by his desire to kill his mother, who manifests in hallucinations. Harley Quinn is driven by the spirit of emancipation. King Shark is motivated by his insane hunger, which often humorously conflicts with his desire to have friends. Ratcatcher 2 wishes to honor her father, while Starro is driven by revenge. Not only this, but every central character confronts their inner demons, fears, and insecurities, leading to their demise or salvation. Through all the violence, comedy, music, and style, we witness the characters at their most vulnerable and see them attempt to overcome obstacles, and as a result, end up caring about every one of them in a way that was just not possible in David Ayer's Suicide Squad.
What are you guys doing?
We're here to save you.
You were gonna save me?
It was a really good plan, too.
After misguidedly murdering a unit of freedom fighters that had actually rescued Rick Flag, the Suicide Squad proceed on their mission, deviating only to rescue Harley Quinn, who, characteristically, didn't need saving. In a romantic side story of her own, Quinn avoids another bad relationship by killing the corrupt president of Corto Maltese and wiping out a security detail. Finally reaching Jotunheim, the squad discovered that Project Starfish had actually been orchestrated by the US 3 decades prior, when a group of astronauts discovered an alien floating through outer space known as Starro. Witnessing its mind control abilities, the United States government sought to weaponize Starro. Striking a deal with the totalitarian government of Corto Maltese, the US moved the captured alien to the military base called Jotunheim to begin experimentation. Led by Dr. Gaius Greaves, aka The Thinker, researchers performed various cruel experiments on women, children, and a variety of political rivals, with the intent of harnessing its telepathic mind control powers for military use. Gunn's depiction of the first villain to face the original Justice League of America during the Silver Age of comic books is unapologetically and intentionally cheesy. I mean, on the one hand, it's causing so much pain and destruction, and on the other, it's a freaking giant starfish, reminiscent of the giant Marshmallow Man in Ghostbusters. In addition to its towering size, Starro can unleash dozens of small, parasitic extensions of itself, which latch onto the faces of human victims. Once subdued by the floating facehuggers, victims fall under the complete control of Starro. The alien then feeds off their consciousness to grow in size, and communicates through captured humans, using their voice to project its own thoughts. When the Suicide Squad first enters Jotunheim, Starro uses this ability to beg them to be set free. In most other DC stories, Starro the Conqueror is depicted as an unfeeling alien, bent on world domination, but Gunn makes him a bit more sympathetic here, given the fact that, much like the Suicide Squad, his freedom had been taken away. The team then argues over whether or not they should destroy the evidence implicating the US, leading to a fight between Peacemaker, who wishes to protect the government, and Flag, who wants to leak the truth to the public, ending in Flag's surprise death at the hands of Peacemaker. Thanks to a set of explosives detonated too early, Bloodsport arrives and shoots Peacemaker as Starro makes a grand escape. Spilling out onto the streets, the gargantuan starfish begins to wreak havoc on the local population, unceremoniously killing and capturing everyone in sight.
This city is mine!
Despite Waller's insistence that they should allow Starro to destroy the city, as it benefited the US for Corto Maltese to descend into chaos, in an act of redemption, the remaining members of the team work together and disable him, before Ratcatcher 2's army of rats eat him alive. Armed with the sensitive data retrieved from Jotunheim, the film ends with Bloodsport blackmailing Waller into freeing the remaining members of Task Force X. Like most comic book movies, there are also a ton of Easter eggs and references, including 2 post-credit sequences, both of which detail the unexpected fate of certain team members. In the first, we see Weasel coughing up water and coming back to life before awkwardly disappearing into the forest. In the second, we discover that Peacemaker had somehow survived his duel with Bloodsport. Bridging the gap between the movie and the upcoming Peacemaker miniseries produced by Gunn, which is set to be released next year, we're told that he's needed for a dangerous upcoming mission. Fans will also appreciate many other characters that made brief appearances, most of which occur during the opening scenes at Belle Reve Prison. There's the exceptionally quirky villain Calendar Man, played by Gunn's brother Sean.
Hey, Polka Dot Man, I was hoping you'd entertain my kid's birthday party.
Standing next to him is Double Down, a villain with distinct facial wounds caused by a cursed set of playing cards. In another blink and you'll miss it cameo, viewers can also catch Kaleidoscope, a villain with the ability to create hallucinations and illusions through a light display reminiscent of her namesake. Gunn has expressed interest in another Suicide Squad film, and considering the movie has received such a warm reception, this will undoubtedly go ahead. In the meantime, I can't wait to see what his hilarious yet messed up mind will bring us.